Now this is part 2 of the disturbing list or whatever, because the other video was cut short for some reason. Here we have Executions. This is like a documentary type film. Only runs for about 55 minutes, and from what I remember from this was quite boring, in my opinion, and not really interesting at all. So yeah, Executions. Then we have a movie by Lucifer Valentine, Black Metal Veins. I wish it had more to do with black metal than it actually has. It's more about these drug addicted people, or these junkies, and we follow their not normal life, but we follow their lives, and it's quite depressing to watch. But yeah, this movie, I thought the movie or the itself was edited very choppy, maybe because it was directed by Lucifer Valentine, but yeah, it was alright, I guess. Damn. What the hell, why can I not... Oh, fuck this shit. I now for some goddamn can't... No, sorry for my language in the last seconds, but for some reason my camera just doesn't want to cooperate with me. But here we have Taxidermy, really weird ass film from Hungary. Very interesting and really cool. I mean, the visuals and the way they filmed certain scenes were really awesome to watch, in my opinion. So really interesting type film, but still quite disgusting, so keep that in mind. And then we have these two, Reise nach Agathis, or Voyage to Agathis in English. And what's so special about this particular release is that it comes with the Debris Documentar as well as a bonus disc, and I think that's maybe one of the only ways to get that film in English. Maybe not in English. I don't even know if this is subtitled or not. But yeah, that's the only way to get Debris Documentar. And then over here we have Revisiting Melancholy. This is a documentary about that film made by a Swedish director called Magnus Blomdahl. And this was actually sent to me from Magnus himself. So yeah, that's really cool. And I thought this movie was very interesting and really cool. And yeah, very, very interesting in my opinion. One really great documentary about Marian Dora himself. So yeah, Revisiting Melancholy Triangle. And then we have this one, Requiem for a Dream. Such an amazing movie, but very depressing to watch. And yeah, it's more like psychologically challenging than like... It doesn't really have that much like blood or gore, like anything like that. It has... I mean, I think most of you people have already seen this movie, but this one is also a great soundtrack, which I think everyone else have already heard. So yeah, but Requiem for a Dream, really amazing and really cool movie. Then we have Island of Death, and like you can see, this is like so dusty, so I need to clean up somewhere in here. But Island of Death, I have not seen this one yet, but I really love this quote: "The movie that the censors don't want you to see." And something here on the back, the world's most widely banned movie. This is the 2003 version, digital transfer from the original negative with scene-by-scene color correction supervised by the director. We regret that we can't show scenes from the movie on the cover. The content is too strong to be displayed. Don't really know about that, but I haven't seen the movie yet, so I can't say anything about that. But yeah, Island of Death. Then we have this one, Men Behind the Sun box set, with all the Men Behind the Sun movies. Limited 4-disc edition, including 40 collector's cards, which I haven't opened for like collectible reasons, I guess. The first one is really good, the second one is so-so, the third one was really boring, and I do not care that much for part 4 either. But this is limited to 1,500 copies, uncut versions. Yeah, so this is really awesome to have in your collection. Then we have these two movies by Andrei Iskavnov. Philosophy of a Knife, which I haven't seen because it runs for over like 4 hours or something. And then we have this movie called Nails. This is really interesting watch because it has some really interesting visuals in it. Also comes with the soundtrack, this particular release. So yeah, very interesting watch, this one, Nails. Then we have this one, Bassem Wah, which I haven't seen. This came out in the early 2000s, and I believe one of the actresses in this movie actually committed suicide just a couple of years later for, I'm not too sure if it was depression or something, but yeah, it's seems to be really crazy, this movie. And here we have a movie which I just love it because it's so crazy. Riccio, or Story of Ricky. Gore de la Gore. Gore de galore, I would say. It has so much gore and interesting gore in it, so it's kind of ridiculous in a way. And I think the version with the English dub is very funny to watch. And I think these three don't really need any other introduction. The vomitcore trilogy by Lucifer Valentine, Slaughtered Vomit Dolls, Regurgitated Sacrifice, and Slow Torture Puke Chamber. And I know for sure that there is a part 4 out there, but I don't really have any interest to see that because it sounds so silly in a way. The Vomitcore 4, the Black Mass of the Nazi Sex Wizard, just sounds stupid to me. Then we have these two, Rosco, the Embalmer, and Young Films, directed by the same guy. I'm not going to try to pronounce his name, but these are basically real life stuff, both of these ones. So, but I've heard that Rosco, the Embalmer, is supposed to be very, very disturbing and disgusting. I've not heard that many people talk about Young Films, to be honest, but both of these movies are released by Massacre Video. I'm not too sure if they are out of print right now, but yeah, that's all I know. From now on, I'm gonna try to show 2 movies at a time because otherwise this video will take like forever. Mark of the Devil, really a cool movie, not cool, but really interesting movie, and has a very special atmosphere to it, and I really love the soundtrack to it. And we also have Antichrist with Willem Dafoe and Charlotte Gainsbourg, directed by Lars von Trier. Don't remember that much from it. I need to check out that movie again, but yeah. And then we have these 2 movies, Snuff 102 and Salo 120 Days of Sodom. I think neither of these 2 movies need any other introduction. And then we have these ones, Feed and Pink Flamingos. And then we have these 2 films, Seed and The Bunny Game. Seed, I've heard so many people talk really much shit about. I do not think the movie is as bad as many people make it out to be, even though I can admit that it's not the perfect movie in the world. And The Bunny Game I really hated because all that screaming in that film just were more annoying than disturbing. And yeah, I did not care that much for The Bunny Game at all, to be honest. And then we have these 2 movies, I Spit on Your Grave and Gummo. I Spit on Your Grave, I think this movie is much better than the remake, and Gummo I think is very interesting. I don't really think you can explain it in other way than to make people check it out for themselves, so yeah. And then we have the 2 Larry Clark movies, Kids and The Bully. Now I just want to say that all of these I myself do not consider to be disturbing. I've just placed some of these movies in the same shelf just because I think some people might find any of these movies to be disturbing. So yeah, that's how it goes. But both of these are really interesting. I think Bully is a great film. Kids is so-so, but it's still entertaining. And then we have these 2, Thriller, A Cruel Picture, or they call her One Eye, and Dr. Lamb. I've not seen Dr. Lamb yet, but Thriller, A Cruel Picture is an interesting type of rape and revenge film, and that's the Vengeance edition I have right here, and I'm completely fine with it because I've only heard that the other edition of this movie is basically just have more like sex scenes and sleaziness to it, and I do not really care that much for that, to be honest. And then we have this trilogy, All Night Long 1, 2, and 3. From what I remember, I think I liked part 1 the most and part 2 the least, I believe, if I'm not completely mistaken, but it was like ages since I saw these movies, so I don't remember that much from them. Yeah, All Night Long trilogy. And then we have these 2. For some reason this just doesn't want to focus. Damn shit. Can't say for shit. What the hell is this? Well, there we go. The Butcher, I think, is very cool, very awesome simulated snuff film. And then Red Room, not as good as The Butcher. I know there is a Red Room 2 as well, but it seems to be really hard to come across these days, and I'm not going to bother to pick it up, to be honest. And then we have the two Cyberpunk movies, 964 Pinocchio and Robber's Lover. And then we have these two, Aftermath and Genesis, and Cannibal by Mariandora. This one's really disturbing, and yeah, like it says down there, this film contains graphic violence. So yeah, what do you expect? And to the left we have Voyage to Agatis, which I also had in that other edition, and then Kishiku, the Banquet of the Beasts, which I haven't seen yet, so yeah. And then we have these two, Evil Dead Trap and Evil Dead Trap 2. Did not care for part 2, and I thought the first one was okay. Then we have this one, Naked Blood, or also known as Splatter Naked Blood. Japanese gore film from the late 90s. Then we have these two, Cannibal Holocaust and Cannibal Ferox. And I'm actually one of those who enjoy Cannibal Ferox a little bit more than Cannibal Holocaust, but yeah, that's just my opinion. Then we have these two, Murder Collection Volume 1 and I Never Left the White Room. And I Never Left the White Room is actually limited to only maybe, I think it's like 500 copies or something. I'm not too sure, maybe it's like 300, but yeah, that's just what I know. And Murder Collection I did not care for at all, and I Never Left the White Room was interesting to watch, but overall it was not really my cup of tea, to be honest. And here we have the August Underground trilogy. Not seen these movies in a while, so I need to revisit them, but yeah. Now I'm going to end the video because I noticed that I don't really have that much room on the iPad, so I need to get rid of some older videos that I have saved on this one. So yeah, see you next time. Bye bye.